So, Beth, hi. It's nice to
Hello,
meet you.
and you? How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. How are
I'm
you?
not bad. So you had a good day so far this
Ye-
morning?
Yes, very good. Yes, it's going well. So, can you tell me and everybody listening about yourself and how you got started as a animal artist?
Okay, so I'm Beth. Hi guys. I'm in South Wales in Caerphilly. I've been drawing all my life, to be honest. I did attend university to study illustration. I graduated that in 2018, so I studied in Cardiff. But since then, I've been more freelancing doing pet portraiture, to be honest. It's something I got into during my final year at uni. So before that, I was only ever working in graphite, but I've always had an interest for animals and nature and science illustration. But it was only my third year of uni I actually discovered coloured pencils, and here I am now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
Do
yeah.
you find that there's anything from your degree that has been really helpful to being a pet portrait artist?
Um, yeah, so it was really helpful, just for like learning new techniques and trying different things. Obviously having projects that I wasn't necessarily thinking was something that I would be into, and then like I said, that's how I got into doing coloured pencils, which made me try different opportunities. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's all stuff that's translated into me doing pet portraiture and dealing with clients on a daily basis.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because you just never know like what opportunities, I guess, will just turn you into a different direction that you never thought you'd be in, really.
Yeah. Um, but I find it really interesting doing this today with a photo reference, because I've not done that for a while. I'm so used to using digital references lately.
Yes, same. I use a tablet for my commissions, and then you can
Yeah,
zoom in and out, and it's a lot easier. Like, I think the first time I tried to use this, I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's a piece of paper. I can't do
yeah.
that.
But no, I like it. It's good, and I think it'll be nice and refreshing for the eyes as well. Because
Yes,
so many times I'm like, oh, I've got screen eyes, but no, it's
yes.
very good.
Too much
Um,
screen.
yeah, definitely. It's taking it back to more traditional.
Yeah, yeah. So why have you chosen this dog nose for us today?
Well, I thought I'll have a little flick through, and there's so many good ones to go with. I know
Mm.
you've done quite a few of them already, and then I saw this one. I was like, oh, this one looks amazing, but I wasn't sure if it'd already been done.
Hmm.
But now getting into it, I'm thinking, oh, well, I've picked a hard one by here. There's so much shine in this. What am I
Yes.
doing? But yeah, I don't know. It's just I love the texture and like how you can
Hmm.
see all the detail on the
Hmm.
nose. I just thought it'd be a great one to go for. Normally, I go for like things like an eye. So I thought, oh, this
Yes.
one's a bit different.
Mm. No, I'm very pleased that you chose something a bit different because I've been drawing a lot of
Uh,
eyes this week.
With you.
Yeah.
There we go. Change it
So,
up for you.
yeah, exactly. It's nice to do something a bit different. And like they're complicated, I think, in a different way because there's, like you said, so much shine, so much texture. So you gotta, I guess, bring in some different techniques than you would with an eye.
Yeah, and I love all the brown textures as well. Brown is something I do quite a lot, to be fair.
Hmm.
So I was like, ooh, love that colour palette. Let's go with that one.
Brilliant. So what materials are you using today? What paper?
So I am using a different paper to what I normally go for. So I've got Fabriano by here.
Uh-huh.
It's something I used to use a long time ago, and I've got still in my collection of materials to use. But I
Hmm.
use so many different papers on a daily basis, to be honest.
Really? What's your favorite
Yeah.
then?
Um, I really like drafting film, and I like Bristol, Strathmore Bristol as well.
Yes, okay.
So this is a bit more textured than the Bristol that I normally use.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was wanting to use paper again today, so I pulled this one out, and I found this one's really good for layering up as well.
Hmm.
Um, so I am gonna try when it comes to doing the highlights. I think normally I'm using like eraser, but I think I'm gonna try and go in with some white as well. So I've got my pit white marker ready to go. Give that a
Hmm.
try today.
Oh, that sounds
Pencils
good.
wise, I'm using Faber-Castell and Luminance. A bit of a mixture.
Nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I use the Strathmore Bristol as well for my commissions. I really like it. It's just such a nice, smooth, thick paper, I think.
Yeah, it's a great one. I love it. I need to
Yeah.
replenish my stock though. I was like, I haven't got much of that left.
You're
I need
running
to save that
out.
one. Yeah. So I've cut this down. I've stuck it on with blue tack. So I'm hoping it's not gonna create any textures I can find where my tape was. So
Uh,
I'm blue tack on.
yeah, I found the thicker the paper you use for this, you just don't like feel the texture of the tape underneath, so it doesn't really affect the drawing, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, I've only got it in the very far corners, so I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'm not used to doing anything live on here. This is the first time I've ever done a
Is
live. Yeah,
it?
so I've recorded for like doing time lapses and things, but in my own time.
hmm
And I've only recently started to do voiceovers,
hmm
so
How
something
are
I've
you
wanted
finding
to do.
it then?
Yeah, okay to be fair. It seemed a lot more daunting than I
Mhm.
thought. But no, I think once you get into it and you've got a bit of confidence behind you to do it, it's not so scary. So
Definitely, yeah. I
yeah,
remember
I'm
the
happy
first
to do
time I did a
it.
live, I was so scared,
I
like
think as well,
sweating.
yeah, well, I had a bit of a nervous belly, but I was like, no, it's okay, I'm all set up, I'm ready. It's just
Yeah.
pretend it's not on camera.
Yeah.
But I do find as well that recording helps me to work a bit faster. So whenever I do have it filming on a time lapse,
hmm
it kind of gives me a little kick to go a bit faster than normal. Like
hmm
I watch the time a bit more kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it only helps in the long run anyway.
Yeah. No, I quite like these lives just because it doesn't quite feel like it's, live drawing in front of lots of people. It's more like just having a chat. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like having a chat on the phone kind of thing while you're just
Yeah. A
drawing.
little bit of company whilst you draw.
Yeah, because I can't see you as well. It just feels like we're just chatting on the phone.
Yeah.
So, good
That's what I
old
mean.
landline.
At one point, I'm going to see the progress you've made compared to mine, and I might be a bit like, oh no, I'm making too slow.
No, it's not a competition. We're we're just chatting and drawing. It's just, and it's also not about like the final product. You don't have to finish this by the end of the hour. It's just to see what you can accomplish
Yeah.
in an hour. Because I think some people have surprised themselves as how quick they are or how slow they are, or
Yeah.
even like seeing the process is quite interesting. So, what are you starting with right now?
Well, I moved on. I started drawing the outline for the inner part of the nose and like the nostrils.
hmm
But I've moved on to the bottom part in brown now because, like I said, I like a brown, so I've walked through
hmm
to the bottom for now, and I'll come back to that bit. So
hmm
I don't have a particular plan for it. I'm just going along. How about you?
So when you do start commissions, what do you normally start with? Like the eyes, or do you
Always
just
the eyes,
random?
yeah.
Okay.
Always the eyes. That's what I mean. With this one not being eyes, it's giving
Yeah.
me a different perspective, and I'm just going with the flow
Yeah.
of it. But yeah,
Yes.
every
Yeah.
single commission, I always start with the eyes and then work the both eyes and then work outwards from there. Because
hmm
I think for me that's the most important bit. And if you haven't captured the eyes right, you haven't got the character of the animal, and then you may
Yeah.
as well start again.
Yes. And it's easier to start again if you have only just done the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. I like to also start with the eyes, and sort of work my way out from the center, I think. I
Yeah.
guess if it's just like a face portrait. But I think if I'm doing a background, I always like to do the background first because I feel like if I made a mistake on the background, it's easy to then start again. I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to have
Kind of
drawn the
messy,
whole
isn't it?
pet
I know
and
what you
then do the
mean.
background and
I
then
don't
it's
do
all
backgrounds
wrong.
very often. I don't do many.
Would you like to? Is that something that you're trying to do more of, or you just prefer not to?
I don't know. I kind of like to keep it like a sort of clean background normally, but I
hmm
have done a few. The ones I have done, to be honest, are more where there's a setting in the background rather than just like something I don't know, floral or like a bit of greenery. Is more that is a scenery behind it.
hmm
But yeah, I don't know. It's not something I've done much of, to be fair.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't something that I was doing very often at all, but I've just decided that I wanted to do background, so I started like presenting it to my clients really and saying, would you like a gradient background or
Yeah,
like a bokeh background or, or I can draw your pet in its favorite place in the garden kind of thing, because I
yeah,
wanted the
yeah,
experience to
yeah.
do backgrounds. So you might as well just ask. Some clients might have said no and they just prefer the white, which is
Yeah.
fine. But others have been, excited to explore that avenue, which has been really nice to have be able to do that.
Yeah. No, it's more of a creative output, really, isn't there? So it's more you putting your originality behind it. So
Mm,
yeah, it's something I would like to do more of, really.
yeah, definitely. So you're going in with the darkest bits first.
I am,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice. It helps. I definitely think it helps with like your understanding of the contrast of the pet or the whatever you're drawing, I suppose.
Yeah. I think I tend to do that anyway. Whatever I'm working on, I go in with the darks and just mark out my
Mm,
values and then work
mm,
from there really.
yes.
I'm going to be careful to make sure I leave lighter spaces considering I am working on paper here.
Mm.
So I don't want to rely on my eraser too much.
So you usually like drafting from because that's really good at like the was it the subtraction
Yeah,
method when you like can taking away using the slice tool and stuff.
yeah, and I love using my Tombow eraser with that then as well. It's a really good combination.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm liking the grainy feel of the paper instead. Like I said, I go between different surfaces really, so it's nice
Mm-hmm.
to come back to Fabriano.
Oh, nice. I've never actually used Fabriano.
No. I have heard a lot of things about it being slightly different to how we used to be produced.
Mm-hmm.
So there's comes more textured these
Right.
days. But like I said, my batch is one that I've had for a good while now. So
It's like the old
yeah.
one.
Um, so I don't tend to like to commit to just one kind of paper in case something like that does happen and all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden I'm like, no, I need to try something else. I've got so
Mm-hmm.
many that I still want to try out. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, paper doesn't really matter which paper you got, does
No.
it? So
Do you
I
normally
suppose.
do you normally sorry to talk over you. I'm just interested in how you test out papers. Like do you just like pick a paper for a commission or do you like test it in your own time or like how do you I guess switch between papers?
Um, I usually test it in my own time and just have a little experiment with the colour palette that I'll be using for the commission.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
then if it's a paper that I've used before, like for example, if I think, oh, that'll be great on pastel mat, I'll go in with the pastel mat. I won't need to experiment with it. It's only really if it's a new paper that I need to do a little experimentation first.
Mhm. And what sort of things are you looking for when you're experimenting? Like what would make you go with one paper over another?
Just more like how the colours blend together or how the laydown is, how many like layers they'll accept on the surface, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I found that some commissions need more layering than others, I find, so
Mm-hmm.
that kind of helps me decide which surface I need to work on as well.
Yes. I think that's why I was quite excited to do this dog nose on pastel mat because I know that I can layer white over dark very
Yeah,
easily. Yeah, so I can just go over and do all the reflections at the end.
yeah, I know what you
Whereas,
mean.
yeah, normally on like Strathmore or something, you'd have to either use the indent tool
Yeah,
or the Derwent electric eraser and erase it like, using the subtraction method to create the reflections.
yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And I think when it comes to me doing mine, I'm like, maybe I should have gone with the pastel
But
mat.
we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how each one turns
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Comparing techniques.
Yeah. You push your book up a bit, then I can
Oh,
see a bit clearer. It's just gone a bit far
sorry.
down.
Is
That's
that okay?
it. That's all right, yeah. No, I tend to keep moving my book around as well to see better because the
Yeah.
phone is right on my face. And then like, oh, now no one can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've moved mine up a little to be fair, so I can't see the screen. I can just see the drawing, so that's just me had it pulled it nearer to me. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So what's your favorite part of the process? Is it like, putting on some whiskers or some eye reflections, or is it like just getting started in general?
Um, no, I'd say definitely towards the finishing touches, but I do love eye reflections as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely my favorite bit, as well as then the finishing details. Like if you've got any like fine hair whiskers,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's by subtraction or by like adding it on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, finishing details, I think.
Do you get a lot of cat commissions or are you mostly dog commissions
Uh,
or
Mostly dogs for me. How about
hmm
you?
Yeah, I get mostly cats.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I've always had more cats than other people, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which is
I do
It's
love cats
funny.
though.
Yeah.
It's hard between the two. I've only got cats myself, so I'm like, I don't have a preference, but I do love a
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. I quite like it just because they have such interesting eyes.
Yeah, agreed.
It's always something to draw, and they're always so colourful as well. You get to use colours that you wouldn't normally use.
Yeah, I agree. So the dogs that I do more often, it does tend to be the same kind of colours. Whereas cats, you do get a bit more variation. So
Mm,
I do like it when I got a cat to work on.
mm. Yeah. How long have you
But
been a pet portrait artist now?
um, it's hard to say because I don't do it full time. So I
Hmm.
do it part time alongside my job in retail. So I think I first started doing my commissions. It was probably whilst I was still in uni, I started my first commission, but then started to focus on it more after I graduated. So I've been
Hmm.
doing it for a few years now. Um, but yeah, I think my first one was a gift for somebody I worked with, and then it
Hmm.
went from there. I had interest, and it's always something I wanted to do. I just wasn't sure that I wanted to go into pet portraiture,
Hmm.
because at one point I did like the idea of doing human portraits as well, but that's not
Okay.
something I do at the moment.
Is that
Um,
something you're going to do?
I mean, it is something I'd love to explore more, but I do feel like it's very different techniques to use in the first. So
Mm.
I do need more practice before I'm confident to say, yeah, I can take on that commission.
Hmm.
Just like skin is so different to fur texture,
Yeah.
and like even the colours to get the right colour tones to represent the skin well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I used to do portraiture in graphite, so I do find in graphite it is a bit easier. So I
Yeah.
just need to have the confidence to transfer my skills over and have a little play around with it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, because you're not really thinking about color in graphite, are you? It's more about the features.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't
But
have to
yeah.
think about the colours for the skin tones. It's just tonal values.
Mm, definitely. No, I find feature placement probably the hardest part of a portrait because if the eye or the nostril or something is just very slightly out,
Yeah,
it
I
it
know what you
looks like a
mean.
different person, and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, but I even traced it. Like, how is this wrong?
Oh, I know what you mean. I don't mind so much with drawing out the image. I'm okay with that bit. It's just, as I said, with the colour, if you don't get the colours right, it doesn't
Mm,
quite look like them. And there is
mm,
so much more pressure I find when it is a human portrait. Like the ones I
mm.
have done, like you said, if it's off, it's very much not them. Whereas when it's
Yeah.
a pet, if you've captured their character, and obviously it's your representation of the animal as well. So I find
Yeah,
that,
it's a bit different, isn't it? It's a bit like,
yeah,
I guess, a looser way of capturing. Even if it's like hyper realistic, it's
yeah,
still looser than trying to do a human portrait, I
exactly.
think.
Exactly that, yeah. So I find that it is a lot more pressure with human portraits. I'm not quite
Mm.
ready to do them.
They are fun though when you get it right.
Yeah, I agree. I am working on one at the moment, but it's one that I have had to practice on a few different papers with to see which one
A
works
human
best for the
portrait.
lady. Yeah,
Oh, exciting.
yeah. So it is quite an interesting one. I am excited to see how it turns out, but still playing around with surfaces and colours and things at the moment for it.
Well, brilliant.
But,
Do you do quite a lot of prep work then before your commissions?
um, not necessarily. So for the human one, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, because I'm just
Mhm.
less confident with it as I
Yeah.
am pet portraits.
Mhm.
If it's a pet portrait, I only need to really prep it more if it is a different surface I'm planning on using.
Mhm.
But if I know straight away that I'm going to go with the one I know how to work with, then I'm okay to go straight in with it, really. And it depends on the deadlines and things as well, if I've got more
Mhm.
time to work with.
Are you one of those artists then that also like to prepare all their colors and get their colors ready before they start, or do you do
Absolutely.
it? You do,
I've got mine all
yeah.
laid out next to me here.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm literally the opposite of you. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
basically do no prep work. I just start and yeah, I never get my colors ready because the few times I've tried to get my colors ready, I just end up not using the colors. I completely change my
Oh,
mind. And then I've just got some
really?
colors next to me that I'm not even
Oh,
using.
fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know why when I'm drawing to versus when I'm looking at the reference photo only, I think just my mind decides, no, those aren't the right colors I first picked out.
No.
Yeah. That's
And
funny.
I think I just like to have them there so you won't hear me like fumbling about trying to find the right colour if I've got a colour in mind that I can't find, and like the pressure of it
Hmm.
being on a live whilst I'm chatting and trying to find the colour too. So I thought, no, I'll get them all out here ready so I can see them all in front of me.
Yeah. No, that is actually difficult on a live because my I'm like working on a different desk to where my other color pencils are. So I like have
Oh,
to like this is why a wheelie chair is great because then you can just like wheel to like other sides of
yeah,
your studio to get
definitely.
stuff. Yeah.
Just whiz around, pop back when you've got it.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you store your pencils normally then and what's your studio setup?
So I've got an IKEA tilt desk.
Hmm.
So I tend to use it flat, just from the previous desks that I've had before have always been flat. So I haven't really used it much on the tilt, but I do like that it has that option if I need it.
Hmm.
And I've got my pencils stored. I've got a few different pencil pots. Um, so I've got them separated into different brands, so that they're there for me to grab. I
Hmm.
haven't got it properly stored any other way, to be honest. It's just in a little storage pencil holder kind of thing.
Hmm.
But I would love to set it up into a proper storage space for it.
Yeah. So you organize your pencils by brand. That's very interesting.
Yeah, how do you organise yours?
I organize mine by color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've just got all of my pencil storage and then all the different colors. I don't really
Oh,
think
okay.
about the brand too much, I think.
Yeah, I just separate them because although I do tend to use a mixture of them, I just like
Mm.
to know where to find them if I'm looking for a particular colour in the range.
Hmm. Hmm. That's very interesting. I like learning about how other people organize stuff. I love organizing things, so like an organizational freak.
Do you keep yours like in spectrum range of colours?
I like to, you know, the colors they come in when they're in the
Yeah,
box. So it goes from like white to
yeah,
black.
you keep them that
That's
way, do you?
how I keep them,
Wow,
yeah.
I'd love to have that level of organisation with mine.
It's honestly quite hard to put them back. So I don't know how many of them are in the right places anymore. Because you like take them all out to do a commission and then like
Yeah,
after every commission I try and put them all back in their right colors. But I feel like some colors I think is like a purple, but actually it's a brown and
yeah,
like I don't really read what they say. I just put them in the place where I think it
yeah,
looks
I
right.
agree.
And then I like read it, it's like, oh, that says it's a grey. I didn't realize it was a grey. Like I thought it was
Yeah,
a purple.
that is
Do you
very
know what I mean?
organised. If you put them back though, I can't say I do that.
Yeah. No, I have to put them back, otherwise it'll literally be a mess. I wouldn't be able to find anything. Yeah, I always find it very therapeutic after a commission's finished to sort of like reset the studio.
Yeah, I
It's
know what you
quite
mean.
fun.
I've
Yeah.
seen
What's
like
been,
different like wooden kind of drawers for storing them.
yes, I
Um,
used to use those.
yeah.
But my trouble is that I couldn't see. So you have to open every single drawer to
Oh,
find the
I
pencil you're
see.
looking for. Do you know what I mean? So it looks
Oh,
very nice and neat away. I literally have like six of these drawers to fill because I've got every color pencil brand,
yeah,
like the full sets of them. So I've got maybe too many pencils, but there's probably no such thing as too many. But and so I had so many of these drawers and I just could never find anything because you have to keep opening every
oh,
single drawer
I see what
to
you
find
mean.
the color you're looking for. So now I've got them all displayed. So these like acrylic shelving units,
Yeah,
basically, like little pockets. And so I can see all the colors now, all the pencils, all the brands. And I've just got four of them and they fit all of the pencils I have, which is very useful.
oh, that sounds
And
really good.
yeah, it can be a bit tricky when the pencil gets a bit short.
Oh, I've got
Um,
so many like that at the moment.
yeah, so then I just
Over and
keep them
over
like
again.
I've sort of got this tray right now of all of my short pencils that I'm trying to get through.
Yeah.
And
I've got one
then
of those.
once they're retired, they go in this jar of like, the really
No,
tiny ones that you just can't use anymore.
I know what you mean. I've got
Yeah.
my pencil extenders, but some of them, they're on their last legs and not even the pencil extenders are doing much help with them. So I definitely
Yeah.
need to reorder a few.
Mm. But it's so cute. It's like, oh, you can retire now. You've done so well.
I
Thank you, little
know,
pencil.
I know.
Yeah. So
Find
I
is
like to
always my
keep
lighter
them.
colours as well.
Hmm. Yeah, most of mine are white and black.
Yeah,
There's only like a few odd. I guess what color is it? It's like I don't know. I can't even read it anymore because it's sharpened so small. Some sort of ochre, I'd say, a green ochre, brown ochre, something like that. I use this quite a lot,
yeah.
especially with tabby cats, because I get a lot of tabby cat commissions. I think I've done like 60 by now.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, and that's a very good base color, I think, because of
Yeah,
they're quite greeny tones, I'd say.
yeah,
Greeny ochre tones. So I use that quite a lot for the cats.
I do like
And
that.
with white furs, I like to use quite a lot of cool greys,
Yeah,
and that's what the Faber-Castell range is good for, isn't
yeah,
it?
definitely.
Yeah. What's been your most like complicated commission you've done so far?
Um, it's a tough one. I would say is if we're talking pet wise, I would say it's probably just where I'm putting more than one into the same drawing.
Hmm.
We've got a few pets at the same time,
Hmm.
but other than that, I'd say I was commissioned to draw a car.
Oh.
Um, which at first, again, I was like, oh no, that sounds scary. I do pets, but it turned out really well actually. It's one of my favorite pieces. So I'd say that was probably my hardest, just because of the subject matter from the off. Um, but I do also love when you do get those commissions that combine animals and it's a bigger piece.
Hmm.
Um, so although it sounds really challenging from the off and it takes obviously that little bit more time,
Yes.
I do find it to be really rewarding and I love when it all comes together.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Because those are the ones where they can't physically get all their pets in like one image. So it's you've created something that they could never photograph.
Yeah, and then it feels even more special then.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about this car then. What did you learn in terms of techniques or different ways of doing it, especially like, shiny metallic surfaces?
Yeah, so it helped me to from pet portraiture translating over from where, like I said, like eye reflections, that kind of shininess that you do get in pet
Mhm.
portraiture. So it's just very much transferring over techniques really. So it's just helped me to learn to not be so scared of different subject matter, which is why I'm more open to the idea of people going forwards.
Mhm.
Because I think there are a lot of skills that you can just transfer over texture wise.
Mhm.
Although you may think, oh no, I draw fur. Like we do draw shiny substances as well, so the textures they are transferable. Um, Again, just practicing on paper types just let me discover which paper was the best one for the layering of it, and then
Mhm.
yeah, just transferring over the skills really.
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, I've never drawn a car before. I was commissioned to draw someone's garden, which was very
Oh
interesting.
wow.
Yeah, and that was the first landscape I'd ever done, and I think I remember feeling like, oh, this grass feels like fur. That's all right.
Yeah.
I know this.
I can do this, yeah.
Yeah, this feels a bit familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since then I've done a couple of landscape commissions
Yeah,
actually. So it's been quite fun, yeah, as a different thing because I never would have said that I was a landscape
that's what
artist
I
or
mean. Once you've done one,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I can actually do it. I can transfer these skills, and then you can be more
exactly.
open to different subject matter then,
Yeah.
and it's really useful.
That's why I love doing commissions because you never really know what opportunity you'll get to try something
Yeah, no,
that you
no,
wouldn't
I agree.
necessarily do on your own. If you're like doing your own art, you'll probably just like put yourself in a box and say like I'm only going to be drawing this type of animal because that's what I like.
Yeah, you stay in your comfort zone then, don't you? So
Yeah,
it helps you to get away from
definitely.
that.
Yeah, but commissions is such a great opportunity to be out of your comfort zone and try new things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll never stop doing them. They're just so good. What's been your favorite commission then? Do you have one in mind?
Mm,
It'd be hard to pick.
yeah, it's so hard to choose. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could pick one in particular.
What's the first one that came to your mind though when I said that?
Um, I don't know. Like I've got so many nice ones that are my favorites for my portfolio.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I could single one out. Have you got a favorite?
Right, tell me a few of them then, and then I'll tell you some of mine.
My favorite ones, I'd say I really love doing sausage dogs.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
so I've got a couple of those I really love. Um, Horses as well. I've
Hmm.
got a couple of horse ones in my portfolio that really are my favourites from commissions.
Hmm.
Um, and oh, there was one Alsatian that I really loved the outcome of as well.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to pick.
it is hard. Yeah, it's a very hard, mean question. But yeah, no, I can't pick either. I There's just too many that I like for different reasons. Like
Yeah,
not
it's tough to
necessarily
pick
because of the
whether.
subject. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough whether to pick or because like you know more of their backstory and you love like
Yeah.
the idea of what you created for that person to remember the pet, or it could be like you love the outcome, you loved how the techniques
Mm.
worked. It's so hard to pick one.
Yeah, yeah. There's too many variables.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like some of them because it was challenging. Like if the reference was challenging and it turned out really well, and then something that you're more proud of, I suppose,
Yeah.
or ones that just felt like from the start it was just such a good portrait to do, and the person's really happy, and it just I guess it keeps coming back as like one of the ones that you remember. So I have too many like that, to be honest. I think I've done 300 now.
Wow, so
So
many.
I don't even remember. I think I remember when I see them because I've got them all in a file, obviously, on my computer.
Yeah.
And when I see them, I'm like, oh yes, I remember drawing that one, and I remember drawing that one. But I
Yeah.
couldn't like name them all. There was a time when I remembered every single pet's name that I
Wow,
drew.
really?
Yeah, and the owner, because all my files are organized by owner. But now I struggle to remember, oh yeah, which pet was that owner, like,
Yeah, that's
because
not
there's just
surprising when
so
you've done so many
many.
though, yeah.
Yeah,
It would be
it's just
impossible to
like,
remember.
I need some sort of indexing method, I think. Do you scan yours in and keep digital copies?
Yes, but it's something that I don't have. When I got my scanner only a few years ago, so
Hmm.
sadly I don't have ones of the ones I completed before that, which I am really sad
Yeah.
about.
Mm.
I've only got like the photographs I took on my phone, which are nowhere near the same level
Yeah.
of a real scan. But once I got my scanner, I got into the process of doing that. Um, and when I did, I made like a calendar last year, so I got the scanner for that reason,
Hmm.
and then I had to go in and like edit out where it picked up like the fibers on the screen, that kind of thing, which was a
Yes.
bit of a nightmare. So
Okay.
the scan was so good that it picked up extra things. So
Mm.
yeah, I scan everything now.
Yes, that's good. I love doing the calendars because I know my customers really like the calendars as well. And seeing their pet portrait in a calendar.
Yeah,
Have you only just
I
started
give it a go.
doing them then? Started last year.
Yeah, that was my first one. I thought I'd give it a go,
Nice.
but it
How did
was a
it
bit of
go?
a mixture. It went really well.
Mm.
It was my first time as well going out and about to like craft fairs.
Hmm.
So that was really interesting,
Hmm.
and it was a great experience to get into doing that sort of thing and gather confidence of speaking to people,
Hmm.
talking about my work in public. Um, so yeah, I'm doing a lot of things that I wouldn't have done before.
Yeah, that's really good because the more you get yourself out there, the more, sales you're going to make.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like I said, is a confidence thing. Once you've done it once, you know you can do it again, and it just goes
Exactly.
from there.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Do you like craft fairs and things then? Would you do it again?
Um, I would do it again, yes. Some of them we were kind of like battling the weather.
Mm.
In South Wales, the weather is very, very rainy. So a
Yes.
couple of them were not very pleasant experiences, and I'd like to forget about them because of the weather. And it wasn't a great show up, that kind of thing, because it was
Yeah.
stormy, and we had where like the gazebo was blown away in the wind and the rain. So
Oh, did you have to pay
yeah.
a lot for those ones? Did they give you money back or they just don't?
Um, those ones were okay,
Yeah.
to be fair. They were only local, so it
Okay.
wasn't a big fee for them,
Yeah.
so that wasn't really an
Yeah.
issue.
All right.
I haven't done a really big sale one just because I'm like, oh, I don't know, like I'm sure it would be worth it, but obviously you've got to put the costs up there up front first, and then
Mm.
hope that it gets you the sales afterwards
Yeah.
and you get the commissions collected from it. So I would love to do a bigger one.
Hmm.
And it was a great experience getting out there. But yeah, there's a couple of them that the rain and the weather got in the way.
Yeah. I think the bigger ones, it's good to have lots of low price point items like cards and bookmarks and I don't know,
Yeah,
prints and things like that,
yeah,
rather than just trying to sell commissions because then those are sort of like your gateway, isn't it,
yeah,
to getting someone that
exactly.
likes your artwork.
Yeah, they've taken a little bit of your artwork home and then hopefully they'll
Yes.
back in with you from there, kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now, I've done one big one. It was the pet show.
Oh yeah.
Um, it was ages ago now, and I did enjoy it, and I basically broke even, but I
Mhm.
found that because I had to pay for the store, and then they were charging visitors like
Right.
25 quid to even come to the thing,
Oh
then they didn't even want to spend that much once they were in there
yeah.
because they've
No.
already paid, and I find that really hard because then
Yeah, that's a
you
shame.
know, yeah, it is a real shame to be honest, but I managed to break even anyway, so I didn't lose any money. I got about three commissions out of it
Oh, there we
um,
go.
at the time, so that was really good. And some recurring clients that commissioned me like years later as well, which is quite
Yeah.
funny. So you never know like, you know, who you chat to and like, you know, they're just in the back of their mind and
Yeah.
they'll come back when they're ready.
It's like that with
Yeah.
anything though, isn't there? You don't know who's looking at your posts on Instagram and they've got you in
Yeah.
their mind, and then one day they might decide, oh, actually, it's the perfect time.
Yeah, I've had that so much because I've been going so long. I had one person email me a couple years ago actually saying, "Oh, I've been following you since for 5 years now.
Oh wow.
I I'm ready to commission my portrait," and they commissioned quite a big one. So it
Yeah.
was like, wow, like you know, I'm glad that they've kept up with me for so long.
Yeah.
Like 5 years is a long time to
That
follow
is a long
someone.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obviously about
So.
engaging with your audience though, isn't it? Building that relationship, and then when they're
Exactly.
ready.
That's the thing about like social media and email marketing. You just got to keep going,
Yeah.
especially if that's how you get your sales. Because I know that person was following me on Facebook. So it was good that I kept doing Facebook posts. Otherwise, they wouldn't have seen me anymore and they would have forgotten about me. And when they were ready to actually get a pet portrait commission, they might have gone with a different artist because they forgot that I even did it, you know?
Yeah, very true.
But
Do you find
yeah.
that you get more work from Facebook?
Yes, definitely. I think
Yeah.
I've only ever got directly two commissions from Instagram, even though I have more
Okay.
followers on Instagram.
Oh, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I guess it's just a different targeting and who's actually willing to buy rather than who's willing to follow you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do
What
hear that
about?
a lot about Facebook being the one that gets more engagement and more commissions booked in. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I do think I need to do more on my Facebook side of it, to be honest, rather than Instagram, because I do hear this a lot.
yeah, I think it depends because I was talking to Jessica King and she says she gets a lot more commissions through TikTok. So. I guess it depends on how active you are with your community. I
Yeah.
talk a lot more, I think, to my Facebook community, and they're an older, I think, generation, so they do like to chat on the comments and things, which is quite nice because then you can just chat and have a conversation about things. And they like
Yeah.
to share their pets and that kind of thing, which is what you can't do on Instagram. You can't do, oh,
Yeah.
I've
Here's
drawn
mine.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've drawn this schnauzer. Show me your schnauzers. Like, that's not really a thing on Instagram, is it?
No, sadly not.
Yes. So I think it just depends. That's why I advise people if you're feeling like you don't know what social media to do, I'd say try all of them for a bit and see what your best result is in
Yeah.
terms of actually converting customers into sales. Like not which one you're getting the most followers or views with, because that doesn't necessarily convert to sales.
Yeah. That's good
But
advice.
yeah. Do you get a lot of your commissions through like your website or something then?
Um, no, so mine at the moment is more Instagram.
Hmm.
But I'm not commissioned on the same level as you, sadly, Same, I had to do it part-time. So I do need to, like I said, try and see if I can get more with Facebook.
Hmm.
Um, and I do tend to find that I just like cross post from Instagram to Facebook, which I don't think is really the right way of going about it. Um, but I also need to update my website.
Mm. No, I would advise just having a really good website because I guess it all depends on your price point. If you've got a higher price point, you're attracting, older people that actually have money. Um,
Yeah,
so those people do prefer a website and an email list and a nice Facebook post. I personally find like this might not be true for everybody, but I personally find that people like pictures on Facebook rather than videos.
yeah,
So I don't post any reels on Facebook anymore because I just wasn't getting anything back.
yeah.
Whereas normally I'd get like, hundreds of likes and comments, and it was just like crickets whenever I posted a
Oh,
reel,
it's so
which is
interesting how it works, isn't
very,
it?
yeah, very interesting because it is dependent on the people that are viewing it.
Yeah,
So I stopped posting reels on Facebook and just carried on posting pictures. Um, And also, I think posting like very collaborative things, like getting people involved with a conversation rather than just saying, here it is, it's finished, commission
yeah,
me. Like, you're not really giving anything back. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's all about like just actually giving something back, teaching them a little technique or talking about the story of the pet that you've just drawn or, you know,
yeah. It's all
it's
about the story, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Because that's what people like, and that's what people are following. They're following your art journey, and they're following the individual commissions themselves. So I think that's really important, just to know who you're talking to,
Yeah.
and then you know what to say.
I am really liking the reels at the moment though.
Hmm.
And now that I've got this new mount, I'm planning on doing some more filming
Oh yeah,
and just really try a bit more with the reels.
nice. What kind of reels do you like to do?
Um, I don't know. I do like the ones where you see templates of them,
Hmm.
and like fast ones, just showing the progress.
Hmm.
But
Like the hyperlapse speed up ones, time lapses.
yeah. And before I was using this mount, I had, like one of those gooseneck
Oh yeah,
mounts.
they're so
Um,
wobbly, aren't they?
yeah, I wasn't getting along with it at all. It was so difficult, and even just angling it every time, it was such hard work. So I've got one now that's like an overarm one. Um,
Nice. That sounds like what
so
I've got.
yeah, so I saw it recommended by somebody on Instagram lately, so I thought I'd give it a go. And perfect timing for this live.
Hmm.
So far so good. It doesn't seem too wobbly at least. And yeah, I think it'll just be really good for me to be able to film more content going forwards.
Yeah, that's really good. I literally have to attach, I've got like an L-shaped phone arm, and I have to attach it on a separate table to the one I'm drawing on because I guess I'm so like shaky.
Oh,
It always shakes the camera, so I have to attach it separately. So it's not even like, There's no way I can shake the
Yeah,
camera.
I know. Yeah. Well, I hope mine's been okay anyway. I'm not really watching the screen too much, but I'm hoping it's not too shaky today.
No, it doesn't look shaky. It looks good. I'm probably a bit more aggressive than you. Like, come on, pencil. I do press quite hard, actually. Do you do a lot of light layers?
Yeah, so it's something I've just been trying to keep in the back of my mind to try and do it lighter
Hmm.
lately. I did used to do it quite heavy, and I just found that depending on the surface, if it was on pastel mat as well, I just found that it just went through my pencil so fast, and
Yes,
it
that's what
really
I'm
affects the
finding.
layering. Yeah, it really
Mm,
affects how it layers as well. So I've been trying to tell myself to do it lighter. From where I'm quite used to working on film as well. It is something you definitely need to work in lighter layers.
hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm just trying out on this one because I feel like with Fabriano it will blend really well with the top. If I use luminance on top, so
Hmm.
I'm just going lighter with my base layers, and then I'll finish it a bit more then on the top layer once I know I've got all the layers underneath it.
Yeah, I'm really loving how your nose is going. It's just it's really coming to life with the layers on the bottom compared to the
I
top.
feel like I'm going so slowly looking at the time, but like I think because I'm not used to speaking as I do it
Yeah,
as well, it's just so
yeah.
different to what I'm used
It's
to.
a
So looking
juggling
at the time, I'm like,
act.
oh, yeah, looking at the time, I'm like, oh no, I've not done much so far, but it is quite a multitasking challenge, really.
It is, yeah. Now you have to spin a plate.
Yeah.
No, it's just a fun challenge, isn't it? Like it doesn't matter about the result because it's not for a client or anything. It's just for
Yeah.
you to practice and see how it goes. I've definitely enjoyed using different textures and surfaces that I've never done before. Someone's asked what type of paper we're using. I'm using Clairefontaine pastel mat, and you're
I'm
using
Fabriano.
Fabriano. Yeah, so it's nice to see how different. We're both using color pencil, but on different surfaces they definitely act differently. So it's interesting just to see the comparison.
Yeah, it's a great way to see different outputs of the same reference material, isn't it?
Definitely. That's why I quite like that we're both drawing from the same book and drawing the same thing because it's just a very easy way just to, I guess, compare different ways of doing the same
Yeah.
thing. Because there's so many artists out there that are just like, oh, but I want to draw realistically like you, and I wish I was as good as you. It's like, but it's not the same because everybody is so
Yeah.
different.
Everyone works differently.
Yeah, everyone works differently. Like even if I told you exactly what to do, it would still come out differently because you have this different connection, I guess, with your brain and your hand,
Yeah.
and it will always turn out differently. Maybe even better. So have you ever done any competitions or exhibitions?
No, I haven't.
Is that something that you want to do?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like how going about doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
I've seen lots of people that do take part in like competitions, or where I'm trying to think of the one recently. Like the different awards for in wildlife art.
Yes,
I'd love to
yeah.
submit my work to that kind of thing and
Mm.
see how it goes. But no, I've never done anything like that.
Mm-hmm. What kind of wildlife art would you do?
I love a bit of everything. So I really enjoy drawing flowers,
Oh, nice.
insects, combining the two together, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's very
Um,
cool.
yeah, I like drawing birds.
Oh, that's very nice because a lot of people say like big cats and um, I guess zebras and
I've done a lot of
lions and
tigers and lions. I've done a lot
yeah.
of those. Yeah.
So now you're
Um,
drawn more to insects and
yeah,
flowers.
just more inspired by like local wildlife at the moment, I think.
Hmm.
Although I do love drawing like the big cats. I haven't done any zebras or anything, and I would love to draw a flamingo.
Oh,
But
that sounds nice.
the color palette is so different to everything I normally work with that I'd really
Mm,
love to do a flamingo.
yeah, you'll
Um,
finally get to use some of those colors you haven't used yet.
yeah, but no, I do need to have a little research, I think, to see the different things that I could take part in.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think there's a lot of competitions that open in January and February.
Yeah,
So
it seems like the wrong time of year for it right now.
yeah,
I'll have to keep an eye out.
yeah. No, same with me. I always find like I really want to do these competitions, and then it gets to like close to the time you're like, oh, but I've got so many commissions to do,
Yeah.
and I'm just so busy, and I can't right now. So try and take on less work to have more time for other things.
Always struggling.
Yeah, it is a juggling because it's also a business, isn't it? So you got to do all the admin work
Yeah.
and the
A lot more
marketing
behind the
and
scenes.
yeah, so much. It is nice when like I really feel it if I've done a few days of like admin tasks and then I finally get time to sit back and draw. I really feel it's like, oh yes, I really miss drawing. I
I know
missed I
what
missed
you
this
mean.
element of my business.
Yeah, you're like, I like this part.
Yeah, the reason I started it in the first place.
Well, the weather's not great here today. It's on and off raining, so it's a great day to be inside drawing.
Yeah, it was really nice yesterday, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable at the
Mm,
moment.
guess that's a good thing about, well, for me working for myself, I'll just go out whenever it's nice. So you work in retail, you
Yeah,
said?
yeah, I'm part-time retail and then I
Hmm.
draw on the side. It's something I'd love to do full-time one
Hmm.
day. But I do like having the consistent income from retail just to help support and not have
Yes,
to worry about that side of things.
yes, definitely. Well, it's something you have to build up to and do in your own time,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it takes a lot of work together, and obviously you need to build to an audience and, like you said, grow relationships with people. So it does take a lot of time. So I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, there's no rush, especially if you've got a good part-time job you can rely on. That's really useful.
Yeah, help pay the bills that way, and you've got less to worry about, and then it's
Yeah.
less stress drawing. I don't like the idea of drawing out of stress. I want to enjoy
Oh,
drawing.
it's hard. It's been like, especially when I first started and I quit my job and it was just the art. I
Yeah.
was so stressed. I was like, oh my God,
Oh.
what am I gonna do when I run out of commissions?
But
And
on the other hand, obviously, it gives you that little the kick and the drive where you have to.
yeah, it gives
So
you a massive kick,
yeah,
bigger kick than you want.
yeah, I suppose.
Uh, How's your nose going? What are you doing now?
I am adding in some lighter tones, blending,
Hmm.
but I just feel very far behind.
That's okay. We've only got 5 minutes, so
I don't think I realised how much multitasking it would be. I just think talking at the same time. Usually I've got like a documentary or something on in the background. I
oh, do
think
you?
I get quite distracted. Yeah, when I'm
Mm.
trying to talk at the same time, it's quite distracting. I'm like, oh, I need to, I need to blend this bit.
No, I watch stuff as well when I draw. Do you listen to podcasts and things?
Yeah, but not recently. I've gone away from podcasts. I'm back onto crime documentaries at the moment on
Oh,
my iPad
nice.
screen in the corner. Um, but yeah, I finished the documentary I was watching. It was a series of different ones with unsolved murders and things. So now I need to move on to the next thing. So I'm looking for the next thing to keep me going as a little background noise to help me draw.
Yeah. How do you not like just watch it? Because I feel like it would be too intense to just watch crime documentaries and draw. I'd just be watching the documentary.
I think I have to do a documentary is okay. I can just listen to it but not watch the screen.
Right.
If it was anything else, like Game of Thrones kind of thing where you need to really watch it,
Yeah.
I could never do it.
Mm.
So I've got to be careful in what I pick,
Mhm.
because it does tend to be something where I need to not be able to look at the screen for it.
Yeah. That's just why I always end up just rewatching stuff because I've seen it before.
Yeah,
So
Harry Potter's
it
a good
doesn't really matter.
one. I love rewatching the Harry Potters.
Yeah, when it was all on, was it all on Netflix like a few months ago?
Yeah,
I rewatched all of them. I just hadn't
I think something like
seen them
that
in
is
a while.
Oh, I watch them all the time, but that's the kind of thing that's really good for me to have on in the background so it's not too distracting.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah, I like to watch stuff too. I think recently I was watching The Umbrella Academy because that's come on Netflix again.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I started a drawing while trying to watch it, but obviously I got zero drawing done.
Yeah, I've not seen
So
it. I think I started to watch the first series, but it's moved on quite a bit since when it first came out. Now, isn't it? Series 4 or
yeah,
something. So
think
I
it's
never got
finished
into it.
now. It seemed like it's finished.
Yeah, I never
So,
really got into that,
which is
but
sad
I've heard
because
good
I actually
things.
quite liked it.
Yeah.
So, what happened to like 20 seasons of
Oh,
something?
I know.
Like I recently was started watching Grey's Anatomy, and obviously it's still
Yeah.
going, and it's on its 21st season or something like that. Crazy. It's like, yeah, this is good. This is what I need for my art. I need it to just never
Yeah,
stop.
never end. Keep going forever.
Literally, because it's just commission after commission, you need something that's sort of like reliable to just put on.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, you could spend so much time like browsing that you're like, oh
Criminal
yeah,
Minds
well,
was a good one for that.
oh yeah.
So because I like the crime side of it, that was a good one. But I did have to be careful to not get too into the story. But that was a good few series as well. So a
Hmm.
good thing to binge in the background.
Yes, good, yeah. No, there's quite a few old programs, I think, like Bones and stuff that
Oh,
have
I love those.
I love Bones as well. I only watched it like last year. Like I never saw it when it came out, so that was like a surprisingly good program.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it's time now.
Oh,
It's
wow, that's
time to
crazy.
put our
Time's gone so
pencils
fast.
so fast. It's been so much fun. Thank you for joining me. I've
No
really enjoyed
problem.
it.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you're
Wow, your progress is great. You've done so much in an hour.
thank you. And I'm really pleased with it. Like I guess it could need maybe another hour or half an hour to just really define these details.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty pleased with the stage. It was more about the nose, isn't it? Whereas I tried to also do the background as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But thank you so much,
No
Beth,
problem.
and
Thank you.
thank you everybody who's joined us today. If you are not already, please follow Beth. And for this practice journal, if you want your own copy, you can get it on learnmycraft.com, where you'll also find lots of books and video tutorials, and you can watch this live back and many others at learnmycraft.com. So thank you so much, and thank you, Beth. Please send me a picture of your drawing when you're done it or just after this live.
Yep.
It'll be
Will
lovely to
do.
see. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.